Meta finally shipped Muse Spark, its first big AI model under Alexander Wang, and the pitch is simple: open model, serious coding skills, and you call it through the same OpenAI-style APIs you already use. According to CNBC, Muse Spark officially launched on April 8, 2026, and both Axios and Morningstar frame it as Meta's first real shot at closing the gap with OpenAI and Anthropic. In this episode, we hook Muse-era meta models into a zero-cost local stack using an OpenAI-compatible endpoint, run real coding tasks, then compare how it behaves and what it effectively costs against the shiny copilots everyone is selling you. First, quick context. Under an internal project nicknamed Avocado, Meta paused some earlier LLM releases, then came back with Muse as the center of its AI push, according to 24/7, Wall Street, and Morningstar. That pause matters because it pushed devs toward closed tools. But Muse Spark is Meta's attempt to pull you back with an open model that plugs into the same plumbing you already use. HackerNoon's zero-cost AI stack guide from June 25, 2026 shows this clearly. It calls Meta Llama 3.1405b, instruct through a Sambanova-based URL, using the standard OpenAI Python client, no proprietary SDK, just the usual OpenAI import. Tech Insider's Llama CCP tutorial and its Llama vs LM Studio guide back this up. Local setups built around GGUF models with an OpenAI-compatible API are already stable, and Llama ships that REST API plus GGUI plus GEF support today. So the plan is simple. We use a local host like Llama as our OpenAI-style endpoint and mentally swap in Muse Spark once Meta publishes GGUF weights, because the client code will be identical. Let's wire it up with the standard OpenAI client, so you see how little friction there is. According to Tech Insider's Llama comparison, that localhost endpoint already speaks OpenAI's chat API format, so swapping to Muse Spark later is mostly just changing the model name in that client call. Now let's use our local Copilot to tackle a real task. I'll ask it to write a small Flask API, then a unit test, and watch how it handles structure and comments. Paid copilots like GitHub Copilot or Curse's cloud models will usually nail this kind of scaffolding, and Meta claims in Axios reporting that Muse narrows the performance gap with OpenAI and Anthropic on these coding tasks. Where things get interesting is cost. HackerNoon calls this setup a zero-cost AI stack, because once you host the model locally, you pay with hardware you already own instead of per token pricing. Meanwhile, proprietary copilots charge per seat or per token, so if you code every day, Muse-era open models on a local OpenAI-compatible endpoint flip the math. You trade some raw power for predictable zero marginal cost. There is a catch, though. HackerNoon notes Meta deprecated models like Llama 4 Scout on June 17, 2026, so you cannot treat their catalog as frozen. You need a setup that lets you swap models fast when the Muse and Avocado roadmap shifts. The practical move right now is this: build your Copilot around an OpenAI-compatible client talking to a local host like Llama or Llama CPP. Then be ready to slide Muse Spark in as soon as Meta posts GGF weights and benchmark it against your paid tools on your own codebase. If you found this helpful and want more hands-on episodes where we actually wire these new models into real stacks, hit subscribe and stick around for the next build.